thank you. And may you enjoy your day in this magical place called Disneyland.
From a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by to board. Your attention, please. The Disneyland Limited now loading for a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom through the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. Stops at Frontierland, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. The Disneyland Limited now leads a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by to board. Your attention, please. The Disneyland Limited now loading for a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom through the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. Stops at Frontierland, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. Your attention, please. Last call for the Disneyland Limited, now leaving for a complete trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom through the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. Stops at Frontierland, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. Last call.
Filled with 999 ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. And they're looking for one more to make it to 1,000. If you're brave enough, you should see for yourself after we arrive back at the landing in Frontierland. Navigating these parts for years, but I never get tired of taking the beauty of the Columbia River. And the majestic trees, the stunning rock formations, the moose, deer, and elk along the banks. It's all so magnificent and so peaceful. sign of peace. That means we're all clear as we head up the Missouri River to the home of the Plains Indians.
Careful if you go in that one station over there. It's on it. That's not going to work. That's not. Can't make it. Supervisor too. Inside the tunnel like that. Watch for kick. I'm not even seeing it.
Thank you, sir. Have a day.
To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Your attention, please. The Disneyland Limited, now arriving from a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by to board. Your attention, magic kingdom through the Grand Canyon and right into the world. Stop at Mickey's Toontown, Tomorrowland, and Main Street Adventures. Last call.
For those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands.
Mickey's Toontown Depot.
People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Can I ride the canoes?
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Please remain seated at all times, keeping hands, arms, feet, and legs inside of the train. Please supervise your children and keep them away from the train opening. Thank you. Our next stop will be Tomorrowland Station.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Now arriving Tomorrowland Station, ladies and gentlemen, please remain sitting until the train comes to a complete and total stop at the station.
Gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland.
See if they want.
Supervise your children and keep them away from the train opening. Thank you. Our next stop will be Mickey's Toontown Depot for Toontown and all of Fantasyland.
That's what I can't. That is the piece of purpose. That makes us. That's the point. I hope so. Figure it out. What's on your train? I know he's probably doing full trip with you.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering Splash Mountain, rumored to be the location of the one and only Laughing Place. Critters are celebrating a zippity-doo-dah day. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Rare Rabbit, and Rare Bear on their fun-filled adventures.
Need everyone sitting down, please? Everyone sitting down, please.
As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the
Everyone sitting down, please. I need the young man in blue sitting down.
in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable. Like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. Signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of gear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. Have fun and say hi to Mickey and Minnie for me. Those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is Toontown Depot, Mickey's Toontown.
Now arriving at Toontown Depot, ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated, keeping hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train until the train comes to a completed move stop at the station, and you can see your conductors at the platform. Thank inside of the train. Please supervise your children and keep them away from the train opening. Our next stop will be Tomorrowland Station.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Now arriving at Tomorrowland Station, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated until the train comes to a completed stop at the station, and you can see your conductors on the platform. Thank you. Tomorrowland Station.
If you're staying on with us, folks, slide down to one side. It's going to be a full train. Thank you. Once again, folks, go and slide all the way down the rows, making room for those guests who are still looking for seats. If you have an available space alongside you, slide all the way in. They say a family that sits together is going to stick together thanks to immunity.
Gentlemen, please remain seated at all times, keeping hands, arms, feet, and legs inside of the train. Please supervise your children and keep them away from the train opening. Our next stop will be Main Street Station. Main Street Station, your gateway to Disneyland, California Adventure, Downtown Disney District, the trams and bus services. As we move up ahead, we will be taking a little detour to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, as well as a trip into the prehistoric times of the primeval world. As we enter the tunnel up ahead, please
to those who have just come aboard,
video
welcome.
lighting.
The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed your travels with us and that you'll come back to ride with us again real soon. For those of you staying with us, we'll be on our way again in just a few minutes. This is Main Street Station, Main Street, USA.
Now arriving at Main Street Station, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated until the train comes to a completed bus stop in the station, and you can see your conductors out on the platform. Main Street Station, Disneyland, California Adventure. Buses, trams, and the downtown Disney District. stop is New Orleans Square.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad on the holiday too. As we travel along, please remain seated, keeping all those hands arms feet legs inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they're away from all train openings and seated towards the center of the road. Our next stop, New Orleans Square Station.
Stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Adventureland. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment.
Once again, if you are leaving us here, please remain seated so the train comes to a full stop. If you are staying on board, please slide to the ends of your row to let in all that available space. Welcome to New Orleans Square, your gateway to Frontierland, Adventureland, New Orleans, and Critter Country.
Last round trip, Rachel.
We're taking on water for the engine, folks. We'll be on our way shortly to our next stop, Mickey's Toontown Depot.
For those of you just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad on Holiday 2. As we travel along the rivers of America, please remain seated, keeping all your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they are seated away from the train openings towards the center of the road. Our next stop, Toontown Depot.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering Splash Mountain, rumored to be the location location of the one and only Laughing Place. If you look real hard, you just might find it. It's where the critters are celebrating a zippity-doo-dah day. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Rare Rabbit, and Rare Bear on their fun-filled adventures. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the Great River Valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of gear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. Have fun and say hi to Mickey and Minnie for me. Those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is Toontown Depot, Mickey's Toontown.
Once again, if you are leaving...
You know, Chris, on that little bridge that we passed, there's a no water enough for you to sit up a little bit, but it's actually at the year 1869. Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that railroad related? Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out. A YouTuber actually said what it was. I forgot, it's just too quick. He was talking at the same time when he was recording. Genie, the line's gonna come up shortly. Then it'll be up.
those who just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad on Holiday 2. As you travel along, please remain seated, keeping all those hands, arms, and feet length inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they are seated away from the train openings and towards the center of the road. Our next stop, Tomorrowland Station.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all. You can see people stepping onto it.
Alright, let's see who's waiting for us from the parade, folks. Get ready.
Matterhorn Mountain.
Oh my gosh, Donald Duck, everybody.
Into the future, to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you...
As a reminder, if you are leaving us here Tomorrowland, please remain seated so the train comes straight forward to the stop. If you are staying on board, please slide all the way to the ends of your rows, making more space available. Welcome to Tomorrowland, your gateway for all things tomorrow.